All right, let's talk about Walrus, also known as WALL. This is a crypto project that's trying to completely flip the script on how we store and manage huge amounts of data on the blockchain. We're talking everything from movies to entire AI models. So yeah, let's dive right in.
Here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we need to understand the big data problem that exists in Web3. Then we'll see exactly how Walrus plans to be the solution. After that, we'll get into the WAL token, the fuel for the whole system. And to wrap it up, we'll look at the road ahead, the good and the not so good.
So, first things first, we have to start with the fundamental challenge that Walrus was even created to solve. I mean, why is it so ridiculously hard to store big files on a blockchain anyway?
Seriously, think about it for a second. We're not talking about a little bit of text for a transaction. How in the world do you take a giant blob of data, like a full-length movie or a sophisticated AI model, and store it in a decentralized way that actually works? It's been a massive headache for Web3 for a long time.
And this is where the big mind shift happens. You see, the old way, think Google Drive or Dropbox, is just a passive container. Your files just sit there, controlled by one company. But this new Web3 approach, the one Walrus is all about, treats data as active. It becomes a programmable object that lives across a whole network that nobody owns. It's a total game changer.
Which, of course, brings us to the solution itself, Walrus. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of how this thing actually works and what really makes it stand out from the crowd.
So at its heart, Walrus is a decentralized storage network. It's built on the Sui blockchain, which is known for being super fast and scalable. The whole point is to use that power to handle enormous files, keep them secure, and this is the really cool part, make them completely programmable using smart contracts.
And you should know, this was not some little project started in a garage. Walrus raised an absolutely staggering $140 million, and that was before they even launched their main network. That is a massive vote of confidence from investors who clearly saw something special here.
So the project was carefully developed by Miston Labs and the Walrus Foundation. It all led up to the big mainnet launch in March 2025, and it went live with over 100 nodes, independent computers all over the world powering the network from day one. And to get things moving, they planned a big airdrop for all the early users.
So what's the secret sauce? How does it all work? Well, the core technology is a pretty unique algorithm they call red stuff. You can think of it like a souped-up version of erasure coding. That's the same kind of smart tech that huge data centers use to make sure they never lose your data. But it's been totally redesigned for a decentralized world. The whole process is actually pretty elegant. You see, when you upload a big file, this red stuff algorithm slices it up into all these encoded fragments. Then it scatters those pieces across tons of different nodes on the network. The real magic is that you can get your original file back perfectly, even if a whole bunch of those nodes suddenly go offline. Okay, so you've got this incredible decentralized network. But you need a way to incentivize everyone to play nice and keep it running, right? That's exactly what the WAL token is for. It's the economic engine that makes the whole Walrus ecosystem go round. The network has a hard cap of 5 billion WAL tokens, so there will never be more than that. And as you can see, that supply is divided up between things like community airdrops, rewards for those who stake their tokens to secure the network, and of course, an allocation for the founders and team.
The WAL token really does three main things. First, it's payment. You use WAL to pay for storing your data. Second, it's for staking. You can delegate your tokens to the node operators, which helps keep the network secure, and you earn more WAL as a reward. And third, it's for governance. Holding WAL gives you a direct say in the future of the entire project.
All right, so the tech is slick and the economics seem solid. But what does the future actually hold? Let's take a really honest look at where Walrus is today, the big risks it's up against, and what's coming next on the horizon. And listen, this isn't just a white paper and a dream. As of early 2026, we're already seeing over 120 projects actually building on Walrus. And it's for all kinds of stuff. Decentralized websites, dynamic NFTs that change over time, even massive data sets for artificial intelligence. This is real-world use, happening right now. And they're not slowing down. The roadmap for 2026 is all about growth. They're planning to integrate even more deeply with the Sui ecosystem, make it way easier for developers to build cool stuff, and keep tweaking the tech to make it cheaper and faster. The big goal? To become the main data layer for the worlds of AI and Web3 gaming. But let's be real, it's not a clear path to victory. There are some serious risks. You've got huge competitors like Filecoin and Arweave who have been around longer.
Walrus is also pretty dependent on the Sui blockchain. If Sui struggles, Walrus struggles. And like any crypto, the Wall token price can be a total roller coaster.
So really, when you zoom out, you can imagine two very different futures for Walrus. In the best-case scenario, it becomes the essential go-to storage layer for all of Web3 and AI. But on the other hand, if the competition is too fierce or can't break out of the Sui ecosystem, it could just end up being a cool but small niche player.
And that really is the big question, isn't it? The technology is impressive, the funding is there, and the early signs of adoption are good. But is that enough? Will Walrus truly become the data backbone for the next version of the internet, or will it just be a really interesting experiment? Only time will tell.